All right, what's going on, guys? I am Kadarius Washington, and this is the Sports Rundown. So, yesterday during the Minnesota Lynx exit interview, their star player, Napheesa Collier, absolutely destroyed WNBA Commissioner Cathy Engelbert. During the interview, she read a statement about 4 minutes long where she said, quote, "We have the best players in the world. We have the best fans in the world, but right now we have the worst leadership in the world," end quote. And from listening to that entire statement that she read, again about 4 minutes long, in my entire life as a sports fan, I don't think I've ever heard an active player attack a commissioner in the way that Napheesa Collier attacked Cathy Engelbert. Now, I know earlier this summer in Major League Baseball, we had Bryce Harper of the Phillies getting in a screaming match with the commissioner Rob Manfred in the Phillies clubhouse. But this right here, this tops that by 100. And listen, if you've been following the WNBA for a little while, you would know that Cathy Engelbert is arguably the most criticized commissioner in all of sports amongst the players, the coaches, and the media. And if you look at Cathy Engelbert's track record from really this year alone, she has absolutely mismanaged this whole CBA situation. Cathy has mismanaged this officiating issue. I mean, the officiating has been absolutely terrible this season. She's even mismanaged the whole Connecticut Sun sale situation and tried to screw over the Mohegan Sun tribe. And so later on in the statement, Fee said that she had a conversation with Cathy talking about some of the young, popular players in the league right now, such as Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, and Paige Beckers. And according to Fee, Cathy said about Caitlin Clark, quote, "Caitlin Clark should be grateful she makes $60 million off the court because without the platform the WNBA gives her, she wouldn't make anything." I mean, I'm sorry. What? I mean, you've got to be kidding me here. Need I remind you that Caitlin Clark was part of the three most watched games in the history of women's college basketball, all before she got drafted, all in 2024. The Elite Eight matchup against LSU, which was also a rematch of the 2023 championship game, 12 million people watched that game. Iowa's Final Four matchup against UConn, 14 million people watched. The 2024 national championship game against South Carolina, which was Caitlin Clark's final game of her collegiate career, 19 million people watched the game. Not to mention, that's not even mentioning that the 2023 national championship game against LSU had 10 million people. But wait, it gets better because Caitlin Clark was part of two of the most watched games in WNBA history. This past July, when the Indiana Fever played the Chicago Sky, the game got 2.7 million viewers, the most watched regular season game in 25 years. And then in 2024, the WNBA All-Star Game, Team USA versus Team WNBA, the game did 3.4 million, which is the third most watched WNBA game ever. And the other two, you have to go back to the league's first weekend of existence in 1997. And so far to date, the only WNBA game to get over 5 million viewers was the very first game of the league's existence when the New York Liberty played the LA Sparks. So Cathy Engelbert, what she said about Caitlin Clark is both asinine and tone deaf. And that's not even bringing up the fact that after 2024, Ice Cube and the Big Three, they wanted to pay Caitlin Clark $5 million to play in the Big Three. I mean, Fox, the channel Fox, was willing to give Caitlin Clark an NIL deal to stay one more year at Iowa. But yet, Caitlin Clark should be grateful that she makes all this money off the court, because without the platform the WNBA gives her, she wouldn't make anything. That is absolutely asinine, and that is absolutely tone deaf. And listen, folks, Napheesa Collier really exposed Cathy Engelbert's true colors in the statement, and you have to give Fee all the credit in the world for standing up for the players and making a statement like that. And remember, this whole CBA has been talked about even before this season, and then you had the All-Star game earlier this year with all the reports of how the meetings went, and then before the game, you had the players wearing the shirts saying, quote, "Pay us what you owe us." And as I mentioned in the sports rundown after the WNBA All-Star game, starting next year, the WNBA will make over $200 million in TV rights deals with Disney, Amazon, and Prime Video. And they also have deals with ION, a just-announced deal with USA Network. And right now, folks, WNBA players are only receiving 9.3% of league revenue, while the NBA players receive up to 50% of their league's revenue. And the WNBA salary cap right now is $1.5 million, which is less than half of the veteran minimum in the NBA. And like I just mentioned, the officiating has been a disaster. And whenever the coaches, like namely Cheryl Reeve, called out the officiating after their Game 3 loss against the Phoenix Mercury, and Cheryl Reeve absolutely blasted the officiating. Not only did she get fined, but she got suspended. She was suspended in a playoff game, let alone an elimination game. I mean, I felt like that was absolute overkill to suspend Cheryl Reeve for what she said, because Cheryl Reeve, I mean, she wasn't wrong. Now listen, you can't criticize officiating throughout sports. I mean, you get fined for saying that, but suspending Cheryl Reeve for that was overkill. I just had to get that off my chest. And it's like every time the players or the league speaks out, the players or the coaches anyway speak out against the league, they get fined. And so, listen, and Fee already said she's not worried about the fine. She's worried about the future of the league. And you have to give Fee all the credit in the world for doing what she did yesterday. And from what Fee said in that interview, if that didn't scream that the WNBA is heading to a lockout, I don't know what does. And not only that, but I would not be surprised if we lost games next year from this lockout. And you know what? I'll even go as far as to say I would not be surprised if we lost the 2026 season because of CBA negotiations. And that would be a disaster. But man, oh man, oh man, you have to give Fee credit for what she did. And now there's reports too that once this CBA negotiation is over with, that Cathy Engelbert is expected to be out as WNBA commissioner. That, of course, is according to the Sports Business Journal. But man, oh man, oh man. We had a feeling that the CBA negotiations were going to get ugly. And man, this is going to be something. These negotiations are going to be something, but these ladies deserve it. These ladies deserve what they're asking for. It is well beyond time to give the players more money and to give them more benefits. So it's definitely time for things to change as far as the WNBA is concerned. Like, comment, subscribe, click that notification bell to be notified of when I post again, and also follow me on Twitter and on Bluesky at CW Talk Sports. That's CWTALKS Sports, and I will see y'all the next time. Peace.